Picture this. You take kids to AMC Theater, watch new Batman movie, $40 tickets, $20 popcorn, $15 drinks, $75 total. Kids love it. You love it. Big screen, surround sound, theater experience, worth it. Drive home talking about how great movie was. Next week, Netflix announces buying Warner Brothers' entire studio, all IP, Harry Potter, Superman, Game of Thrones, everything. $82.7 billion. You read announcement. Netflix CEO says people prefer watching movies at home. Theaters are outdated. Future is streaming. Your $75 theater experience? Netflix wants killing it. Then you realize that Batman movie you just saw? Last one in theaters, next Batman, straight to Netflix. No theater, no big screen, no experience, just your couch, your TV, and Netflix raising prices again. That's the Netflix Warner Brothers deal. Today we're breaking down how streaming giant is swallowing Hollywood and why your movie theater might disappear. Now let's get into it. Netflix buys Warner Brothers. Quick note, this info comes from multiple sources. If something's wrong, drop a comment. We make economics so simple that anyone with zero knowledge can understand. 2013. Netflix began making original content. Executive Ted Sarandos said, quote, "The goal is to become HBO faster than HBO can become us," end quote. Keep in mind this year, HBO was at peak, Game of Thrones dominating. Sounded crazy back then. 12 years later, Netflix actually close to eating HBO as part of wider acquisition of Warner Brothers. Same Warner Brothers with iconic WB logo, one we've seen start of so many favorite movies. Founded 1923, Warner Brothers still massive name from 20th century. After merger with Discovery, 2022 they own media entities you've heard of. Harry Potter franchise, DC Studios, CNN, Cartoon Network, more. Netflix started 1997 as DVD mailing company, tried selling themselves to Blockbuster Video, got rejected. To see Netflix aiming buying out one of largest media empires in world? Certainly, turn of events. December 5th, 2025. Netflix stated they would acquire Warner Brothers Film and Television Studios plus HBO and streaming service HBO Max. Deal valued at $82.7 billion, including debt. To be clear, Netflix not buying CNN, Cartoon Network, Discovery Plus, or Adult Swim. Company stated, quote, "By adding deep film and TV libraries of HBO and HBO Max programming, Netflix members will have even more high-quality titles from which to choose," end quote. Who knows what optimizing plans for consumers means? Perhaps another subscription tier, including HBO shows. Press release continues, quote, "Combination will offer more choice and greater value for consumers, create more opportunities for creative community, and generate shareholder value," end quote. At first, yes, Netflix subscribers get more shows. Great. But what happens after a couple years? Comes in next line, generating shareholder value. Whenever maximizing shareholder value mentioned as goal, point comes where only way growing revenues is treating customers worse. After Netflix stock crashed March 2022, company made mission not disappointing shareholders again. Subscription prices went up 12%. Counting just this year in US, advertising subscription tier launched. No more password sharing. There's your shareholder value. But this not mentioning job cuts. Netflix states about $2 to $3 billion in savings from merger. Translation, job cuts, proven every single time Warner Brothers goes through merger. This time, probably no different. What would Warner Brothers get? Basically, immediate financial returns and stronger presence in streaming market. For Netflix, shareholders happy, but consumers pay more ads, possible job cuts, real possibility. This deal could impact Hollywood big way. This deal sort of inflection point shows big tech indeed swallowing everything. With Netflix acquisition of Warner Brothers Film Studios this time, Hollywood getting swallowed. If we're charitable, outcome could see Netflix inject much needed life into Hollywood. No secret lot of moviegoers unhappy with state of movies at moment, remakes upon remakes. Unoriginal stories dominate screens. Out-of-box thinking punished by poor movie turnout. Much safer sticking with what works. Could Netflix change this? Provide backstop for risky ideas? Possible. But there's another way this could go. Early version, Netflix disrupted television. Warner Brothers merger could disrupt and damage cinema. Group of anonymous movie producers released joint statement to Congress about merger. Quote, Netflix views any time spent watching movie in theater as time not spent on their platform. They have no incentive to support theatrical exhibition, and they have every incentive to kill it, end quote. Are they panicking for no reason? Not really. Basis to what they're saying, 2024, Ted Sarandos called cinema first model, quote, outmoded, and pledged to, quote, give our members exclusive first-run movies on Netflix, end quote. 2025, he stated people would much rather watch movies at home than movie cinemas, with Netflix being growth stock. Investor pressure could push Warner Brothers studios into streaming to save costs. Massive blow to traditional Hollywood, with IP like Succession, Game of Thrones, entire Harry Potter franchise, King Kong, Superman, Dune, Blade Runner, DC Comics, Matrix, Looney Tunes, and much more. Some worry about what could happen to them. Imagine Matrix Netflix series. Could be amazing, or one of worst things ever seen. People don't like that uncertainty. Beyond cultural aspects and impacts to cinema, in Hollywood, there's even more resistance. October this year, Warner Brothers first put themselves up for sale. Netflix eventually beat out Comcast and Paramount Skydance. But Paramount Skydance, now back with vengeance. Chief Executive David Ellison, Larry Ellison's son, launched hostile takeover bid, making case directly to shareholders. In corporate world, seeing hostile takeover bid, basically when company attempts buying another without approval of target's management, usually making direct offer, purchasing shares from shareholders. Takeover bid includes finance from Middle Eastern sources, including sovereign wealth funds of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi. Possible direct foreign part ownership of entity like CNN raised eyebrows. Netflix offering to pay $23.25 per share. Giving existing Warner Brothers shareholders stake in new company. Mix of cash and equity worth about $27.75 per share. Meanwhile, Paramount bidding for entire company, including declining pay TV networks like CNN and Cartoon Network, valuing Warner Brothers at $108.4 billion, offering $30 per share in all-cash deal, provides greater certainty for stakeholders than Netflix proposal. Could mean David Ellison, whose dad close to Trump, will get CNN. Not to mention Oracle of Larry Ellison will hold part of controlling stake in TikTok. Mid-December, board of Warner Brothers officially rejected Paramount deal. Roasted Paramount and Ellison family in 94-page report. Stated they were aggressive, disorganized, submitted bids after deadlines. Documents provided by Paramount, quote, contained gaps, loopholes, and limitations that put shareholders and company at risk, end quote. Also had concerns over financing, indicating thought it bit shaky. Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav essentially bribed by Ellison's. Paramount going to give him compensation package worth several $100 million if deal between Paramount and Warner Brothers went through. David simply told Ellison's it was inappropriate. But story isn't over. Being hostile takeover ultimate decision rests with Warner Brothers shareholders not bored. Shareholder vote still months away. Who will really win? Only time will tell. Whichever way it goes, concerns from regulators, valid. So either case cost cutting and profit driving measures likely hurt consumers and media industry. Class action lawsuit filed against Netflix. Stating deal would push up consumer streaming prices. Netflix dismissed suit calling it meritless. DOJ and FTC probably watching Netflix deal like hawk if goes ahead. Main worry regulators have? Massive amount of content Netflix would now have. Netflix, already world's largest streaming service with 300 million people. Gaining so much extra IP, along with that fact massive risk of monopolistic power, could gain pricing control over subscription costs, licensing where and when content gets seen. Rival streaming services have tough time competing on content. Combined Netflix-Warner entity could control very big share of global and US streaming and content distribution, reducing competition. Regulatory approval must be had from US and foreign governments. Chances there'll be some resistance. Despite this, that Netflix CEO said company, quote, highly confident, end quote, it will get approval for merger. Plenty aren't happy about it. Jason Kilar, former Warner Media CEO, stated on X, quote, if I was tasked with doing so, I could not think of more effective way to reduce competition in Hollywood than selling Warner Brothers Discovery to Netflix. End quote. Writers Guild of America chimed in with grave concern. Quote, the world's largest streaming company swallowing. One of its biggest competitors is what antitrust laws were designed to prevent outcome, would eliminate jobs, push down wages, worsen conditions for all entertainment workers, raise prices for consumers, and reduce volume and diversity of content for all viewers. This merger must be blocked. End quote. Traditional theatrical first release windows could shrink or disappear. Some fear big blockbuster films may go straight to streaming, hurting cinemas, altering movie experience. Deal could go as follows. More premium HBO-style content for Netflix, one less streaming service juggling between, of course, until price rises to unaffordable levels. As for Netflix and Warner Brothers, both companies have gun to each other's head while shaking hands. Netflix will pay Warner Brothers $5.8 billion breakup fee. Warner Brothers will pay Netflix $2.8 billion if deal blows up. 2010, when asked about Netflix being viable competitor in entertainment, then CEO of Time Warner, Jeff Bewkes, dismissed Netflix, stating, quote, it's little bit like is Albanian army going to take over world end, quote. Asked how he would reply to that comment, 2025 Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos hit back, saying, quote, I would say it in Albanian if I could end, quote, purely from business standpoint, insane how large Netflix has grown. Wild time seeing this happen. Here's question. You're paying $15 monthly for Netflix, $10 for HBO Max, $12 for Disney Plus, $14 for Hulu, $51 total. Netflix buys Warner Brothers, eliminates HBO Max, raises Netflix to $30 monthly, puts fewer choices, higher prices. Is this future you want? Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any videos.